Hi, welcome to Street Priest Ministries. I'm your host, Brother Jay, as we're taking the Gospels back to the streets. Today's drive-through message is the stone throwers, Pharisees. Now, what inspired this message was a stone thrower. It came on my social media site, throwing stones at me. And I don't respond kindly to stone throwers. You didn't know my background in history and follow street priests. You know I was tortured by these Pharisee types, and I remove them from my midst. See, the problem with me is I don't argue with people. I remove people from my midst that argue. And I gave him a boot right through the uprights, kicked him right off my social media site. Now, this message was inspired by this jackass, a so-called FEMA pastor. That's what he was. Call him what it is. I know the type. Synagogue of Satan, Mason, FEMA pastor. And what he did, so outrageous. I mean, he made my temperature boil. Two things that make my temperature boil. People that harm children, child molesters, rapists, of that sort. And Pharisees. Both are perverts. The Bible calls the legalist stone throwers perverts. We're going to get to that in a minute. Both are perverts. But anyway, this 501 CP3 FEMA pastor is going to slam us that's part of the Trump movement. God raised up Trump because of the church, the ostriches with their head in the sand. They refused. Told the country going to hell in a handbasket. And these sorry FEMA pastors, actually it was 1.5 million, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. FEMA pastors signed up to console us as we enter into the gulags of the globalist system. They were going to hold our hand. These sellouts, these Judases. And this was one of them. He was opposing what we're doing, us pastors that are behind Trump. And he tried to super spiritualize. I hate these kind of jackasses. We're supposed to be working for the kingdom of hand, not for government. Idiot. We are the government. I have to control myself before going to real street mode. We the people are the government, you jackass. And you should be involved in politics. That's why the nation is going to hell now. You sorry ostriches with your head in the sand that done took yourself off the battlefield, off the war, and sitting around like praying managers, talking about God deliver me. He ain't gonna deliver you. Going to hell. He ain't gonna deliver you. Hell's gonna be full of you. Telling you now. Cowards. In the end of Revelations, it says the fearful were one of the things that get thrown in there. God don't respond kindly to cowards. And I don't either. And I'm doing something to purge my social media site of them now. Judgmental, stone-throwing cowards is what I attract. And we're going to get around to what they look like. I'm going to give you a good profile in a minute. So you can remove yourself from the present. The Bible said, children are free and to dwell with the children of bondage anyway. But I attract these types. And I got a few little undercover FEMA pastors on my social media sites, thinking you're going to throw stones at me. No, you're not. You're going to just get the boot through the upright. I'm trained for this. I can smoke you out. Another thing he said, you must be born again. I am born again, jackass. And my spirit discerned you. That's why you got the boot. Because I am born again. I see right through you like cellophane. And your type, your kind. And they love, just like the Pharisees, quote scripture, beat you over the head, but it's caricature. It's out of context and everything. They use it as a billy club, these jackasses, these phony pastors. And they want you to drop your guard talking love. I'll give you love, all right. You're going to get a boot right through the upright. It's the kind of love you're going to get from me, tough love. You ain't going to be able to play me. God done equipped me street-wise, book-wise, spiritual discernment wise. I see right through you, just like cellophane, talking to you. And I'm coming for your type on my site this week. Watch me. I'm a man of my word. If I'm going to do something, I'm doing it. You judgmental, critical jackasses. And we're going to get to the word, the etymological meaning of critical in a minute. Anyway, we the people are the government. You know what founded this government, this nation? Huh? Do any of you know? Bible toting in one hand, and gun and musket, gunpowder and musket in the other hand, preachers helped found this nation. Along so-called Masons as well, but God just used it. That's what founded this nation. Jackass. Look it up for yourself. Pilgrims. They were called pilgrims. And they could pick a rabbit off at 20 yards without blinking. Now I'm sick of cowards. Having a forum of the format speaking for us. No, you don't. You cowardly, sorry lot of. I'm really controlling myself. I don't say the wrong words because I'm aware of children. Watch. It's only a couple of them where I let loose, but I told the parents to get out the room where I actually cussed. You cowards didn't found this nation. We was losing this nation. You cowards sold out to the globalists. You were bound at the feet of Antichrist, and that's what's happening now. These female pastors, they're all part of this globalist system, this one world religion. Madame Blavatsky is their leader, not Christ. The witch. One world, new order. And that's what I was dealing with. One of those pastors. And put that in quotes. And that's why they hate Trump so much. Even the ones, some of them are part of his cabinet hate him. They're trying to derail. What's going on? They're working for the enemy. They're traitors. No more than the Pharisees are traitors that sold Christ out for 30 pieces of silver. This bunch here is interested only in time and wealth from Caesar down here. They ain't interested in furthering heaven's agenda. They interested in furthering Satan's agenda. A lot of them sold out to him anyway. Some sold his soul. A lot of these so-called prosperity pimp pastors behind the pulpits that literally sold their soul to the devil. For money, wealth, power, and fame down here. But this is one of them I was dealing with on one of my social media sites. They have the gall, the temerity, the audacity. I don't deal with critics. Critics and a-holes are the same to me. I remove you from my presence with a boot. Very few times I've come on here when I'm really pissed off. And this is one. This jackass got me really riled up. And he got me riled up enough to purge my social media sites of these type of jackasses and his juniors to get rid of his followers as well. And you'll see. I'm a man of my word. Better lay low. Now, this is something else I have a bone of contention with. The Bible says weed out those that cause contention among them. I do it. I've been doing this one of my principles. How can two walk together except they agree? I remove those that disagree. Birds of a feather flock together. Or birds of the same kind of the feather flock together. Who wants a duck and eagle hanging out? Duck and eagles don't hang out unless he's eating it. It's food. That's about it. I want eagles. I want special forces Christians. I said that 1,000 times. I don't make no bones about it. I don't want the mediocre. I don't want the average cilantro. I don't want you. There's plenty of places for you. but not here street priests. This is a Special Forces Christian network ministry. And that's what I'm looking for, birds of the same feather. That will take it to the enemy on battlefield earth. I'm not looking. I don't have a tit for you to suck on. Oh, which one? Oh, too many babes in the church. Get that video, babe talks. Where I talk about that. I don't want you babies. I don't want the retards, and I damn sure don't want the Pharisees. There's no space and place for you here. We can't breathe the same air. The best thing you do is remove yourself from my presence, or you'll be removed with a boot right behind you. And I'm not playing. I was tortured by that bunch, and I know how they operate. I know they MO, how sly they get. And the devil comes as an angel of light a lot of times. Some of them are smooth with it. They're not always overt. A lot of them are covert. Try to subtly reprimand you, subtly criticize you. And I smoke them out every time and remove them from my presence. And we're going to continue. They've been doing it for years, like weeds. I used to have in my floral garden. We had a beautiful garden, all kind of flowers in it. Every time I look around, it was a weed. I had to pull almost every day. Some would be hiding, and it wasn't as, they were covert, but I still smoked them out, pulled them up. Just saying. That's how I look at these legalists that come into my presence. All right. So now, this is what we're going to do here. I'm going to give you characteristics of a Pharisee so you can be able to smoke them out. You new Christians, or you Christians have been in the way, and been, some of them have complained to me they've been tortured by this type as well. And they're cheering for me. Like I said, birds of a feather flock together. They were tortured too. Only thing you can do is remove yourself from it. That's what the Bible tells us. To weed out those that cause contention. Remove yourself from them. That's biblical. Kick the mother out and her children. Children of the bondage can't hold court with the children of the free. That's what the Bible says. Remove the mother and the children. And that's what I've been doing for years. Christ set me free years ago from that type, that bunch. I was tortured like you wouldn't believe. I went through a hell that you wouldn't believe. I couldn't breathe and was a sin with this bunch, but yet they were hypocrites. Doing things that I even saw that they wasn't aware of. They were doing. Behind closed doors. But yet, clubbing you over the head daily with thou shalt not. I refuse to suffer any more from that type, that bunch. And I'm not going to, and I'm a defender of the flock. The flock ain't going to suck. As a pastor, I defend the flock here. See that staff back there with that hook? I'll snatch your ass up with it and root you up out of here quickly. You Pharisees that come in thinking you're going to come into this ministry and harm this flock. No, this is an under shepherd that handles business. And you will find help this week coming up. I've been observing for a while. I'm quiet. I observe. My dad used to say, son, don't pay attention to what a person says. Watch which direction their feet are pointed. They say they're going north, but their feet are pointed south. They're going south. I don't pay no attention to words. That's what some of you think. And I'm moved by your words. And quoting scripture, that don't move me. Satan can quote better than all of us. As an angel of light. And his ministers are righteous. No marvel, Paul said. I'm not moved by scripture quoting. Now, the Pharisees, if you want, I've done extensive teaching on that. It's the law. That's one series where I talk about the history of the Pharisees. I believe, and there's been other videos too as well. But look those up. I'm not dealing with the history of the Pharisees right now. I'm dealing with their bout and how to spot one, the modern day Pharisee. And I'll put that up on my site for you that is interested in those videos. Anyway, Pharisees, they work for the state. They're false prophets. That pastor, that jackass, that think he was going to reprimand me because I'm behind Trump. And he said, and he mocked this movement, talking about this movement was not genuine and blah, 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 and not of God, blah, blah, blah. Wrong, jackass. God raised up Trump because of jackasses like you that laid down, that refused to fight, that sold out. That's why God raised up Trump. To take on the corruption and the globalists and the SRA, Satanists and child sex traffickers and all that. That's what Trump is cleaning house, doing what the church wasn't doing. And God's raised up an army, jackass, outside the church. I'm part of it. That know who the enemy is and his minions and are taking it to him. And all you are, jackass, is a blockade. And I'm talking to all you pastors sold out 501c3 that follow and watch street priests with your stones in your hand. Yeah, you stone throwers, talking to you. I see you. Believe me. You don't fool me. Some of you with your seething hatred for this movement. You're not going to be, I told you before, get out and get on your own corner. Don't think you're going to come on street preach. That's what they do. You got these fake pastors that come on and try to usurp using your platform or swindle followers. Not going to happen here. You're going to get the boot through the upright is what's going to happen. Starting this week, I'm cleaning house. I ain't saying it, but I don't talk about it. I'll be about it. You'll find out. I'm Action Jackson. I'm getting at some of you I just been observing. You think you're slick, but you're not. Come on here trying to promote your false ministries, your false doctrine. You're trying to build up your prosperity, fake ministries under street priests. It's not going to happen. It's a worldwide following, worldwide movement. But it's because of the truth that God has blessed this ministry with a worldwide following in the tens of thousands. We take no quarter here when it comes to sellouts. Now, I'm telling you now, that for some of you that know me, we've been around, been following, we have some new people that's come on board, and they're on their job. They know who the enemy is. They're taking it to them. And I've had these recalcitrant, lackadaisical, verse quoting saints, that's all they can do. That's tried to slickly reprimand me. I'm thinking I don't see. In-house fighters. You know, you have friendly fire within the military where they're shooting. You're shooting at the enemy, and you got an enemy within the camp shooting at you behind enemy line. Oh, excuse me, behind your line, not enemy lines. They're not shooting at the enemy. They're shooting at you, friendly fire. That's what I got. I got these fake Christians. They're taking pot shots at me. You think I don't see it? Trying to do it on the sly. Full of pride and jealousy and envy. No, I'm going to force you to get out on point and build your own. I'm not going to do it on my corner. God gave me SPM. You go somewhere else. He didn't call you to reprimand me. He called you. You get out on point and do your own thing. I said that 1,000 times. Build your own. Reprimand your own. But not here. I'm getting rid of you Pharisees this week. Now anyway, they work for the state, these false prophets. These 501c3 female pastors that hate this country. That's traitors to this country. That signed up for FEMA camps. FEMA pastors. You're the enemy. I look at you. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. You fake pastor. You're the enemy. And you ain't on God's side. And God's your enemy. You like that 2.25 million bunch that got those cowards God wiped out that refused to fight the giants and turned on God and made God the enemy. God said, okay, you make me the enemy, I'm the enemy, and I'm going to wipe you out. And he's going to wipe you out too. You're the enemy. You just like that bunch that he wiped out in the wilderness. That traitorous bunch, cowardly bunch. Traitors and cowards go hand in hand. You're going to be wiped out too. It's hell and lake of fire. Going to be plenty of you down there. Hell's going to be teeming with fake pastors, sellout pastors, that wouldn't fight the devil. That made God's chosen ones like Saul going up against David, chasing him around, but wouldn't get on the battlefield and fight the real enemy, Goliath. Sitting around behind a rock, coward that he was, hiding while David went and chopped Goliath's head off. The Lord will give you victory, but you got to fight. And that's the problem with these cowards. They try to hide under the skirts of Jesus. And this same coward pastor, God, I'm still boiling behind him. This whole message is you could thank him for, but things happen for a reason. And this message, it can go through him to those like him. Furthermore, this cowardly pastor said, that showed his contempt for our president, that he should be praying for, that he should be helping hold his arms up as he's taking on the forces of darkness. And his life is under a constant threat of annihilation. Him and his family should be praying for him. But this Judas, this Absalom, showed his true colors by putting this movement down and saying it's not of God. Furthermore, he had the audacity, the chutzpah, the temerity to say that soon he's going to be taken out of here with the rapture and not concerned about politics. Let me tell you something, you jackass pastor, and you to think like him. You're going to be left down here. Guaranteed, you ain't get the chariot ride out of here when the rapture do come, and those like you. You think God's going to put you on his chariot, a coward like you? You will be left here to face the Antichrist and the false prophet. And most of you will get the mark, because that's how cowardly you are, to feed your gut, your stomach. Because you can't buy and sell except you have the mark. Can't eat. Some of you, most of you live for your bellies anyway. And you ain't going to get your head chopped off. So you guaranteed an express ride to the lake of fire when you get that mark. An express ride to the lake of fire with your master Satan. Because that's who your master is. It ain't God. If you think God's taking you out of here on his chariot and you refuse to fight, and matter of fact, not only refuse to fight, but become an obstruction, a blockade for those that are fighting the globalists and fighting the enemy that worships Satan and his whole rotten system that's predicated on SRA, child sex trafficking, cannibalizing kids, and vampire adrenochrome drinking the blood of kids. If you too gutless as a man to stand up to that, and God raised up a man to do it, and you think when it comes time, for his time, the Antichrist is going to have his time, and the beast, the false prophet, which you are part of. You're part of the false prophet and his bunch. But y'all going to have your time. Don't think for a second God going to rescue you. You're really sick in the head. you to believe that. And you no different than that bunch that got wiped out in the Bible, that sold out to false gods and idols, thinking God was going to save them when God pronounced doom and doom came for whatever various means he brought it. The king of Babylon taking them into bondage, wiping them out, or having the Philistines wipe them out, whoever God used as an instrument of punishment. Out of Sodom and Gomorrah, only Lot and his wife and his 2 daughters, and she turned to a pillar of salt because she looked back and disobeyed God. Her heart was in Sodom. The flood, Noah and his 7 family members, the only ones saved, 8 family members out of the whole world. Everybody else wiped out. God got a history when it comes to salvation of only a few make it. Got a track record. And those that do make it, you can best believe, fought the good fight of faith. The one Christ coming for. Where he said, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Jesus said, if you lukewarm, I'll vomit you out my mouth. And you lukewarm 501c3 FEMA pastors don't have a chance to be raptured out of here. And you refuse to fight the enemy and become the enemy yourself. And it's sold out to the enemy. Thinking God's on your side. A lot of people in the Bible thought God was on his side. They had a rude awakening when they got to hell. Including Saul, as I mentioned earlier, who thought God was on. God chose David. Like God chose Trump, not you, jackass, to rescue this nation. God's not through with this nation. We the people are this nation, the Constitution, jackass. So if you're going to use Romans 13, use it right there. That y'all love to misquote. We are the government. We the people. Now the globalists is trying to take away our government and put us in slavery and bondage. But that's that piece of paper that stands between us and tyranny. That President Trump and supporters that await us in the ministry and other patriots and supporters realize what's at stake. Why the sellouts that allowed this to get this corrupt, that was going to put a witch in the White House, that's only interested in lining their pockets, only interested in the praise of men, got us to this state to where God had to do something out the ordinary to just to turn this ship that was headed for an iceberg around the United States. Now I'm boiling mad, and rarely do I get like this. Now, work for the state, false prophet, FEMA pastors. Go to Mark 12:14. Mark 12:14. I was so pissed off I couldn't even think straight. These docile wimps behind the pulpit. These cowards that refuse to stand for anything and fall for everything. Refuse to stand up for anything and fall for everything. They see somebody that's on the move. They got it. and try to, all they can do is cop block and blockade, no different than what's going on with the loony left, trying to stop the patriots. Same thing going on with these false pastors and Christians, trying to stop us that are awake, that are an army outside the four traditional church walls. It's part of the street movement, trying to stop us from rallying and fighting the enemy. Cop block, blockades, that's what they are. Same with the loony left. Don't want to see the nation succeed. And this is a spiritual movement as well. What happens in the spirit realm also manifests itself in the natural realm. If you're a coward in the spirit realm, thinking you impressing God because you're a praying man, and that's all you do, and you don't take no action in the natural realm, you're just a coward in the natural and the spiritual realm. If you're guilty of treason in the spiritual realm by selling out to the wrong side, that manifests itself in the natural. You won't sell out to the false prophet and the Antichrist when that time comes, when you miss the boat, because you are going to miss it. But that's what you've been doing, selling out all along. What makes you think you're going to be rescued? You're going to take a coward, sell out like you to heaven with him. The Bible's full of valiant fighters. Read Hebrews 11 if you think I'm making it up. And Chronicles 11. Heroes of faith. Not cowards of faith. Heroes of faith. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. You're not impressed with your surface performance crap and talk. It's had enough of that throughout this scripture. Plenty of that going on. It's the doers he's interested in. And don't give me works and all that. They love to take that and take that out of context. No jackass.